Then the topic which we are going to discuss is the simple electric circuit. The simple electric circuit illustrates some integrating physics. Circuit will have a battery, and the battery provides voltage and electric pressure that pushes electron through the wire and lamp. Very correct. So you can see the compared to the water flow from the tank. There you can see the pressure difference will make the water to flow from one point to another. Here the source of electron to pass, that is the electric pressure. Whereas in the gravitation, it is a gravitation pressure, it makes the water to flow from one source to another point. So here, so electrons flow easily through the relatively thick wire, but the difficulty through the lamp filament. The filament has resistance to electron flow. Very important point to note. The filament has resistance to electron flow. Current squeezed through it shakes the atom so vigorously that they glow. That's why the filament emits light while the connecting the wire doesn't. Even the light is electrical in nature, magnetic too. Okay, who's more afraid of electricity? Someone who has an understanding of it or someone who doesn't? I don't know among you people who are knows that is how electricity is dangerous. Yes, even now the olden days people you can say my my parents, they were not used to the electric circuits because they were not when they're young age they never seen the electricity, so they were scared to touch any wire. They think that it is very strict, it is very dangerous to touch. But nowadays we know, all of us, the electricity is a common thing. Like you charge a cell phone, you charge many things, and you have used electric gadgets. So we do not know that it is all source of current. So when you handle, especially when you handle the cell phone charger, sometimes you touch the tip of that, but you don't get shock. So shock is not due to, is due to the flow current. You must have seen a bird sitting on a wire and a live wire of the transmission line. You can see them, they do not get any shock. But if the two parallel wires, one wire where they sit, another one touches, then they'll get shock and they die. But as far as there is no connection between two parallel lines of transmission wires, there is no problem with the bird sitting on the one of the wires. So here see the science, technology and society. 200 years ago, a young boys called powder monkeys ran below the decks of warships and picked up sacks of black gunpowder for the cannons above. It was ship law that they do this task barefoot. Why? Because it was important that no static charge build up on their body as they run back and forth. The barefoot ensured no build up of static charge that might result in an ignition spark. Bare feet ensure no build-up of static charge. Very static charge, which will just reside on the surface. Today, electronic technicians in a high technology firm that build, test, and repair electronic circuit components similarly follow procedures to guard against static charges. Even it is aeroplane, they use the tires when they're landing. The static charge is the one, the tire. So they which must be taken care of that. Very important point. Not because of any danger of blowing up the building, but to prevent damage to delicate circuits. Some circuit components are so sensitive that they can be fried by static electric shocks. So electronic technicians work in environments free of high resistance surface where static charges can accumulate. They wear clothing of special fabric with the ground wires between the sleeves and their socks. Some wear special wristbands that are clipped to a grounded surface so that any charge that builds up by the movement on a chair, for example, it's discharged. As electronic components become smaller and smaller, circuit elements are placed closer together, the threat of electric sparks producing short circuits becomes greater and greater. Maintaining static free environment is an important ongoing task for many companies. Yes, that's what you can see. The tall buildings are